That backfired. I didn't even have the bloody microphone turned on. 1 2 1 2. Is this thing on? Can you hear me alright, guys? Who have we got in tonight? We've got 4 people. Listen, apologies for the delay. I was like probably Evening Colin, Evening Dane. How you doing, buddy? What was I going to say? Like most retro gamers, I am classed as the IT expert in my family now. My technical expertise with computers is crap. But compared to other people in my family, I am technically the IT wizard. So my sister, she had, what did she have? She had Talk Wi-Fi, but she lives in an old house, and basically the Wi-Fi, because of the walls are so thick, the Wi-Fi is absolutely crap. So she changed over to Vodafone, and it's still crap. So I told her to get one of these Wi-Fi extender doohickey things, a Netgear. So she bought that last week off Amazon, and I went up tonight to get my tea. That was my reward for configuring it and to get this thing working. And I've got one similar. Evening Russ, I don't know why I'm looking down there because it's not there, it's downstairs in the living room. And I'm sure all you have to do is press the WPS button on the router, and then you press it on the Wi-Fi thing, even the Milestar, and then it should just connect. So it connected fine, I thought, excellent. Then when we actually tried to connect to the Wi-Fi extender, it was asking for a password. And according to the instructions, it should be the same password as your router. So I spent a good couple of hours, and I had to log into a website, and it was asking you to bloody register and all that bollocks. So it got to about 5 to 9, and I'm like, "Evening, Steve." Yeah, and he's just like, "What am I talking about?" It's just like, yeah, I was giving up. It got to about 5 to 9. I thought, I'm meant to be doing a live stream in 5 minutes, and my sister's house is about 5 miles away. So apologies for that. Hence the reason I don't normally do this. I am drinking some cider. It is Friday after all. Cheers. Oh, bloody hell. Is that even in date? Oh, Strongbow. I think tastes like cat piss. I'm normally a beer drinker, but I've kind of actually taken a bit of a taste for cider because I'm quite thirsty. Yeah, anyway. Aye, cheers. So how the hell are you? Sorry, Russ is asking me, how are you, laddie? How was your week? My week's been alright. Yeah, it's been okay. Work's been kind of alright. Not been doing... Yeah, is it? So that's actually Strongbow. Strong pish, more like. Yeah, not been doing a great deal, but it's quite funny. I don't know if I mentioned that last night. Obviously, Dean, you're asking about the Spectrum Next. Last night or yesterday afternoon, I got what did I do? I got an email from Yodel to say that there was a parcel getting delivered, and I thought, dancer, that'll be the Spectrum Next. And it's quite good because you can go in and track it, and then it allows you to send a text message to like the driver. So the guy's name is Roy, so I contacted Roy. I says, Roy, I believe you've got a parcel for me. Is it going to be today or tomorrow? He went, it's going to be today, mate. I went, great, I'm not going to be in. Can you please put it through not through the letterbox, give it to my neighbour. So I was super excited. I was super excited about getting the Next, as probably most people were. And then I went back into my emails, and I had an email to say that my £7.50 delivered handheld. Is it here? No, it's not. Excuse me. Handheld has been dispatched by Yodel, and I thought, oh bloody hell! Don't tell me the parcel that I thought was my Next is actually this £7.50 handheld. So I was bitterly disappointed. So I got home, had my tea, and it got to about 8 o'clock last night, and I thought, oh well, I suppose I better go and get this bloody handheld. So I went and tapped on the neighbour's door, and she handed me the little handheld plus a big parcel, which turned out to be the Spectrum Next. So yeah, Dean, you're asking about it. I don't know if you've watched my video. I did an unboxing last night. I was using it. I mean, where is it? It's up here. I've got to say, I am absolutely blown away with this thing. It is just like, it is one of the nicest little bits of kit that I've ever seen. Dean, have you actually tried one? I know a lot of the Retro Asylum lads have got theirs. Yeah, it's, what can I say about it? I mean, it is reassuringly heavy. I think that's the right word to say. It's so well made. I mean, the attention to detail. I mean, I was watching some other videos, and my videos are pretty shite compared to others. The actual keys, I mean, they're matte in the middle, and then they're kind of shiny on the outside. I cannot stress just how nice that keyboard is. As much as I'm not a programmer, I mean, I would use that. I would use that keyboard to work with. It is so nice. It really is. Yeah, I tried it. I was playing it last night. Loading up obviously Spectrum games. I mean, the card that it comes with is, I think it's a 1 gig card. In fact, you know what I need to remember? Apparently there's a day one update, so I need to download that. Yeah, what was I talking about? It's got a 1 gig card, and what I've done is I've got, because of this thing, I mean, I've been Spectrum overload. I've got the Spectrum Omni, which is considering I was a C64 man, you know, I mean, I've got this bad boy as well, which is just absolutely delicious as well. So I've got all the games on this, and all I did was I transferred them across to the Spectrum Next. And what I love about the Spectrum Next, I mean, yeah, I know it's people are saying, you know, why would you buy it? You know, some people are talking about buying it and they're not going to use it. If I'm being honest, hang on, I can actually see myself in the YouTube video, so I'm just going to move it across because it's quite annoying. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I'm probably going to use it as a means to play Spectrum games for the most part. I will endeavour to pick up some Spectrum Next games, but what I like about it, there's quite a few things apart from the actual form factor of the unit, which is awesome. It really is. I mean, I know it was delayed, and I can see why they've delayed it, because they wanted this thing to be perfect, and you know, touch wood, as long as it doesn't fail, they've really nailed it. I love the fact that you can load disk images, you can load snapshots, you can load tap images, you can load a tap image. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. It's 20 past, yeah, I did start off late. I might run for about 10:30. We'll just see how it goes. If people get bored and switch off, then I'll probably call it a day. Yeah, you can load tap images. Now, what is wonderful about it, you can load a tap image a la original. In other words, you get the whole loading experience, you get the squiggly squoggly lines, you get the loading screen. You can load it instantly, but that breaks the whole nostalgia overload that you get when you load a game. Hit that thumbs up, watchers. Yeah, and you know, also, I mean, this is one thing. I mean, Dean, I think you're saying that you're getting an accelerated one. How you doing, Adam? Nice to see you, buddy. Hope things are okay, man. I know what's been happening. I hope you're okay, mate. Yeah, what was I talking about? Sorry, Dean, you're getting an accelerated Next. I'm genuinely curious, genuinely, I should say, curious as to why would people want an accelerated Spectrum? because obviously the Spectrum games, I mean, it's going to run things quicker, obviously, I would imagine, even in Milfy. The thing is, the Next as standard it runs at 3 megahertz, which I think is the standard Spectrum speed. When you go into the menu, you can press the right cursor key and that'll increase the speed to 7, which is effectively double plus 1. Then you can increase it to 14. Wi-Fi, yeah. Again, I'm genuinely curious as to why would people want a real clock and Wi-Fi. Maybe it's just me. I mean, what are you going to be able to do if it's on Wi-Fi? Are you going to be able to browse the internet with it or something? I'm interested. I'm intrigued, I think, as to why people would want all these things. I know you can use as a Raspberry Pi Zero as a kind of accelerator, but again, other than, I don't know, I mean, what game would you say benefits from having an accelerator? You've got, is it Dark Space or all these 3D polygony type things? But the fact that the standard Next multiplayer, possibly, Adam, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's a whole host of options opened up with it. I'm assuming you can buy these extra add-ons and enable them later on. Excuse me a second, but however, another drink of my delicious Strongbow. You know what? To explain how little I actually drink. In fact, has this got an expiry? There you go. Is the date underneath? Is that the date it expires or the date it was made? Because if so, this was meant to have been drunk by the 31st of December 2019. Now, I had a housewarming party about 6 months ago and people brought drink and it's been sitting in my cupboard for Christ knows how long, and when I got back tonight I thought, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to have a cider. Oh, bloody hell. It's a bit sour. There's a service on it that's a bit like CFAX called Nextel. Yeah, I mean, is that going to be a bit like CompuNet, what it was like in the C64? By the way, Dean, I need to come on to Retro Asylum. I've been desperate to come on that, so you need to make it happen, mate. If you want to get an old grouchy Scotsman, I'm your man. Seriously though, I would love to. I would be honoured to be invited on. And conversely, you're welcome to come on a live waffle if you ever fancy it. For anybody that wants to ever join me on a live waffle, just give me a shout. We just need to kind of link it up with Facebook, Messenger, whatever it is. But yeah, getting back to Next. It's the whole interface is lovely. It's super user friendly. The fact that it says you can load original tape images, you can load a tape, you can connect up. I mean, this part, as I completely admitted to say, this part here is, I think, where all the extra kind of bits plug in. So I was going to say you can plug in a Kempson joystick interface. Why would you need that when you've got these in the back? I don't know what that is. What does that say? Hang on, or is it digital? That digital video something. What's it called? Digital video debug. I don't know what that is. It's kind of like a wee. Don't know what that is. And then you've also got. Yeah, you've also got two USB, micro USB things, but I would have thought that it would have been the standard USB. I don't really understand what these are for. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully if you've watched my video, hopefully it came across. I actually rewatched my video last night, and I think my genuine passion and genuine wow came over in the video, and I'm glad it did, because when I opened that's the first time. Well, I mean, I saw one of these at one of the play events, but to try and put it into perspective, we all know what it was like when we got a new computer. I mean, I've had 4. Like, I got my Texas Ti 994A. Had that for a few months. It was shit. Although since I've discovered Miner 2049, I realised that it was actually quite a good computer. It's just that the only game I had for it was written in BASIC, and it was complete pants. I had the Texas. Then when I got the C64, it was awesome just discovering this brand new computer all over again. Opening it up, getting to know what it can do, what's its capabilities. After that, I had the Atari ST. Then after that, I got the Commodore Amiga. And then after that, it went on to PCs. Now, PCs are completely sterile things. They're just a box of bits. I've got no idea what graphics card I've got in that thing. They don't have any character. They're all just the same. Some people have got better graphics cards, but it's just bits of memory and all this kind of shit. So really, the Commodore Amiga was the last computer, standalone computer that I owned, and probably most people owned, because I don't think there was really any computer came out after, unless I suppose if you class an Apple Mac, which technically is a computer, I suppose. If you class that as one, but I've never owned a Mac, so I never really had that. But again, the Macs, let's be honest, the Mac is a PC. They're all the same. But this bad boy, this is a completely new computer. Yeah, it's 100% compatible with the Spectrum, but it's got its own hardware, it's got its own operating system, and I would imagine that the games are going to be completely unique as well. So I'm really, 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 really looking forward to getting stuck into this. Like I said, I connected it to my wee portable yesterday, and I played it for about an hour. I was playing. I think there's only something like 5 built-in games. There's Trash Man, there's a few other games. Oh, another excellent thing as well is it runs ZX81 software. I didn't realise that. Excuse me. Oh God. Whew. Yeah, it runs ZX81 software, and the fact that you can just plug it into the TV, HDMI, Bob's your uncle, away you go. Plug a joystick in. Absolutely superb. So yeah, I mean, I know there's. I was talking to Jim Bagley last night, and I've already arranged to get Jim on for another interview. I did interview Jim a couple of years ago, just talking about his Spectrum kind of program days. But I'm going to get Jim onto the channel for basically. I just want to talk about the Next, how it came to fruition. I was actually watching the video that him and is it Henrik, I think it was, came up with when they first announced the Spectrum Next. It's quite funny actually, and there were so many people along over these last couple of years. I mean, I think this has basically overshot by about almost 2 years, and there were so many people saying, "Oh, it's not going to come to anything." But I think when I'll be honest, when I realised that Jim Bagley was getting involved, I just had a gut feeling. I thought Jim is the type of person, he's not going to get involved in something that's maybe not going to come to fruition. So I didn't have any issues at all with backing it. And it's quite funny because about 3 weeks ago we got an email saying your Spectrum Next is going to ship shortly. Try saying that when you're drunk on the Strongbow cider. And I had to put my address in, and I couldn't even remember. I couldn't even log into Kickstarter. I had to do a forget password thing, and I had to actually go in to see if I'd paid for it, and I couldn't remember if I'd paid the 180 quid or not. But yeah, if you're one of these people that either you were going to back it and you decided not to, or you maybe cancelled it and you want to get one, I would say go for it, because I don't think these things they're going to be made in limited supplies. And see, the thing is, if you're a Spectrum fan and you want a future-proof way of playing Spectrum games, and I don't mean on a Raspberry Pi, because let's be honest, playing the Spectrum on a Raspberry Pi is pretty pish because you need a keyboard and it's just not got the same thing. But the funny thing is, I've been able to play Spectrum games on an HDMI screen for quite a long time, you know, with the Raspberry Pi and all that kind of stuff. But there is something special about loading up a game on an actual proper bit of hardware and seeing it in all its HD glory. Sorry, Adam, you're asking, what's that? How does this screen image scale up on an HD telly? I don't know. It just it just worked. I was trying it on was it a 30? No, not a 32. A 24-inch TV, and I just switched it on, plugged it in, switched it on, and it does come up with a kind of test card thing for a few seconds, and then it just boots up. But really, really, really nice. So yeah, I got that, and like I says, I got this handheld now. Well, in fact, I don't want to spoil the story. I have done a video of the handheld, but a quick bit of background. In fact, hang on 2 seconds. I'm going to go and grab this handheld. Yeah, I was listening to the Retro Hour podcast a couple of weeks ago, and they were talking about gaming handhelds, and I can't remember the name of the guy. It's not Ravi or Dan. It's the other guy. In fact, no, I'm talking bollocks. They had a guest on who I can't remember who it was, and he was talking about different handhelds, and he said that you can get handhelds on eBay for like £5. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go on eBay and I am going to try and find the cheapest, nastiest handheld possible and just see how... Excuse me. Is that my tablet making noises? Yeah, I'm going to buy the cheapest, nastiest handheld possible. So I went on eBay and I ordered this. Now to let you... There's my original Game Boy. There we go. There's a Game Boy, and there's my little retro thing, whatever it is. So yeah, this arrived. This was the thing that arrived yesterday, and I thought, then this cost me £7.50 delivered. That's including postage, so I don't know how much this thing actually cost. So it was £7.50, and I thought, this is going to be absolutely shit. Well, first up, it's got really nice controls. I mean, it's got a little D-pad, and it is really, really nice. It really is. It's got the 4 buttons over there. It's got your start, stop. That's exactly what it is, but you know what? And I thought, right, prepare yourself. I mean, I've watched all the Ashen's videos. I know how bad these things are. I mean, it's even got a rechargeable battery thing. Like so, it's probably one of these ones that's going to go on fire and it's going to burn my house down along with me. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the battery's like, but anyway, so it's got a rechargeable battery. Right, you get in there like so. I thought this is going to be absolutely shit. Prepare yourself. Now, I don't know if you can see that. It's asking for, you've got the option for Chinese, yeah, Chinese or English. So come down to English, press start, and you've got 401 games. Now, I do know for a fact that there's, I mean, I don't know, there's maybe 50 games and then it just repeats. But let's... Right, here we go. I'm going to turn this, well... There we go, can you see that? Super Mario Brothers. Now, you probably can't tell by this video, but the screen is bloody gorgeous. It really is, right? If I start this for 2 seconds, surely I'm not going to take a copyright ban. Oops, a daisy. try playing one of these things backwards. Right, I think I'm probably going to get a copyright strike. But anyway, right, I'm going to turn it off just now, but there's probably, I don't know, there's probably about, as I say, 50 games, and then you've got 350 of the same game. But I was playing it last night. I mean, I probably played this as much as I played the Spectrum Next, and it's just awesome. It feels great. The screen looks amazing. Yeah, I think that particular game, Adam, did play a wee bit fast. The other games that I've played seem absolutely fine. But you know what? £7.50. Really? I mean, it's got the sound is nice and clear, nice and loud. You've got a wee volume control on the side there. The screen looks lovely. Did I say it's £7.50 delivered? Obviously, some little kid in Japan in a sweatshop made that for like 10 pence, but just insane. I was actually hoping it was going to be shit, and it's not. It's actually really, really good. So I have done a little video of it, so I'll probably put that out maybe tomorrow or Sunday, something like that. So excuse me a little second. Oh God. Right, I did, I think last week I never answered any questions, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump across and look at the questions, unless there's any questions from our audience this evening. If there's anything at all, just put it down below. Right, let me find my channel. Mainmeister Waffle Live. Right, where's last week's? In fact, no, I don't think there'll be any questions from last week. It'll be the week before. I hate YouTube, I really do, trying to find my way about the place. Right, so the last waffle was 24th of Jan. What is it? Was it be the 24th? Yeah, it would be, I think. Yeah, the 24th. I think that's the last one. So let me have a wee look. Right. Yeah, this one went out on the 24th of January, I think. Right, okay. Right, let me get back to live bit. Oh yeah, how you doing, Neil? Yep, you've just missed the party. Evening, Arvik. Welcome all the way to the Netherlands. Wonderful. Yep, you've just missed me talking about the Spectrum Next. I'm absolutely loving it, mate. I really, really am. So, right, let me jump into the questions from a few weeks ago. Right, Scott Brion, question for the next waffle, whenever that will be. Alan, excluding these modern day plug and play consoles and nostalgia consoles like all the mini consoles and whatnot, what is the absolute worst console you have ever owned, and what is the worst one you currently own? I suppose that's a very, very subjective thing to say. What is the worst console that I ever owned? I mean, some people would say, right, okay, so you're saying have ever owned that I no longer own. There's very, very few machines that I don't hang on to, but the one machine that I had and I got rid of, and I'm going to be controversial, and it's the N64. The N64 is not a bad machine at all. That, to even say that, I think that would be absolutely outrageous. It's not a bad machine. It's just not a machine that I have got any nostalgia for. I don't have any love for it at all. I mean, I did buy one when it came out. I think it was 1997. Binatone Pong. Well, yeah, you know what? You've just stolen my thunder, Neil. Binatone Pong. Yeah, that would have to be the one, for obvious reasons. Even back in whenever it was I got it, 1976 or something. or maybe a wee bit later than that, 1979 possibly. It was. I remember being excited about being able to interact with the TV. But even after a very, very short space of time, I realised how limited it was and ultimately how boring it was. The problem being is you really needed somebody else to play with you with it, unless you wanted to play squash practice. I mean, you couldn't even play. You couldn't play. You couldn't play. What do you call it? You couldn't play like you couldn't play tennis on your own. You couldn't play football on your own. I didn't even have the one that had the light gun, so you couldn't even play that on your own. So the only game I could play on my Binatone, and I had the bright orange one, which everybody had. The only game I had I could play on my own was squash practice, which was just about the dullest thing ever. Apart from that, grandstand tennis. What was that, Adam? Was that an actual console? Was it? Or yeah, no, I don't remember that. I mean, obviously tennis, the Pong one had. Yeah, it was Was it grandstand I had? No, it was Pong. It was Binatone. It was the Binatone one I had. I think the grandstand one was a. I think it was a probably a better version. Whereas Binatone, they were like the sort of the. I'm trying to think, the Goodmans of the day. They would come out with a cheap. Whenever somebody came out with some bit of technology, Binatone would come along and make a cheapo version of it, and that's what I had. Actually, my granny bought it and she gave it to me. Anyway, so apart from the Binatone, yeah, the N64, it's not a bad system. I just I've never really. I don't know what it was apart from Super Mario 64. I mean, I had Turok Dinosaur Hunter, which was quite dull. I was going to say Spy Hunter. I had GoldenEye, which was even in the ZX. I had what do you call it? I had GoldenEye, and I wasn't really. I always thought the graphics looked a bit naff in it. Then I got Super Mario Kart, and I always thought that the N64 one was probably one of the weakest. Yeah, did I have Ocarina of Time? I did. I bought a few games for it, but I don't know. I just thought the graphics. I mean, it was the N64 was always renowned as having shit. You know, it was the fog of war, I think they called it. Basically, it wasn't capable of displaying things from too far away, so it would have all this fog which kind of hid the shortfalls off the machine. But yeah, I don't know what it was. I bought myself an EverDrive, and it sat on my shelf for a couple of years, and I realised that I never played it. There was no games at all, and it was Stuart Ashens that actually kind of summed up why I don't like the N64, or not so much why you don't like it. He was saying how it's the one machine that's crying out for a mini version, and that's because the N64 on modern TVs just looks like shit. It is crap. It is god awful. It really, really is. And emulators, whilst the emulators do improve the screen resolution, probably the frame rate, you know, it can't really properly replace the N64 controller, which I happen to think was one of the worst controllers ever made. When you look at like Nintendo controllers, they're always really good. Yeah, the SNES one, I mean the NES one, it was quite basic. The SNES one, basically, every other what do you call it? Every other gamepad has basically been based on the SNES one. Then they brought along the N64, and it was like made of that cheap plastic. The little analog nub is it was like cheapo plastic. It just felt cheap and nasty. And I understand that Nintendo they're always pioneers when it comes to, you know, they brought out the Wii movement and all that. They're always pioneers when it comes to bringing out another sort of way of gaming. But I just thought the N64 controller was absolutely crap. Then the next generation, the GameCube, and yeah, the game. I mean, I've got a GameCube Wavebird, and I would probably say that the GameCube Wavebird or the GameCube controller are two of the finest controllers you'll ever buy. They're just so well made. They're so comfortable. They really are. But getting back, yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't have any love for the N64. So really, a bit controversial, but I would probably say that was the worst console that I don't have anymore, because I did have it and I sold it. The worst console that I do own now, that's some people would say my Atari Jaguar is the worst console ever. I would beg to differ. I don't think it's the worst console ever. I think it's just there was very few games came out, and that's probably down to the fact that Atari really didn't market it well. They constantly sold it as being 64-bit, where technically it wasn't really. I think there was one bit of it that was 64-bit. But yeah, so that the Atari failed because of Atari themselves, which is unfortunate. But you know what, the Atari Jaguar is worth it just to be able to play Tempest 2000, especially the fact that my mate built me one of the Jaguar controllers and he's put the spinner underneath, so that's the best way to play it. Never played Doom in it actually, Arvik. I know I was listening to an interview with Jeff Minter and they were asking him, do you think that Tempest 2000 is the best game for the Atari Jaguar? And he said that I think it may have been the best selling one, but he reckons that Alien vs Predator was probably the better game. It was, you know, more technically advanced. But yeah, Tempest 2000 is an awesome game. So yeah, I wouldn't say the Atari Jaguar. I love mines. I mean, any console that you get to play as a Scotsman wearing a bright orange wig, a kilt, and your death move is basically pissing on the guy, that gets a thumbs up for me. Other game, I mean, can you see it behind me? Maybe not. I've got the what have I got? I've got the, what do you call it? What the hell is it called? The Virtual Boy. Yeah, the Virtual Boy gets a lot of hate. You know, anytime you Google the Virtual Boy, all you get is how bad it was and how you know you get headaches with it, etc., etc. I'll be honest, I don't play it very often, just because it's not designed. I mean, it's heavy. It's a heavy bugger, so you can't just put it on your head with an elastic band and whatever. But you know what? The 3D actually works really well. It's not like virtual reality. It's all manual. It's all mirrors and that kind of stuff. So, you know, apparently they're very breakable as well. But it came out years ago. It came up, Evening Simon. It came out. It was light years ahead of anything else. You know what I mean? And people, what annoys me about anything, not just gaming consoles, films, whatever, when people knock things I've never actually tried. There's loads of people who say, oh, the Virtual Boy's shite. Have you actually tried it? No. Well, come back once you've tried it, then tell me it's shite. I would never sell mines because I just love it to bits. They're quite hard to get a hold of. But you know what? I wouldn't sit and use it for hours on end. I mean, I find even with the PSVR, I can't use it. I can't play it for any more than maybe an hour. I think an hour tops, possibly. So I suppose the Virtual Boy, some people would say, it's one of the worst consoles. But I think the worst one that I've got, and I've only played it very briefly, it would be the video pack. Does anybody remember that? I think, what was it called? Was it the Magnavox Odyssey? I think it was. I've actually got two of them, believe it or not. I don't know why I ended up with two. I think I bought them. Yeah, the Magnavox Oddity? That's a better name for it. The Magnavox Odyssey, or Video Pack as it was known in the UK. It was basically the console that people that couldn't afford an Atari would buy. I always remember seeing it in, supermarkets and big department stores. You had Atari with Space Invaders, and I think the only game that I can remember on the video pack was it called Munchman or something like that. It was basically Pac-Man. Yeah, it's meant to be shit. It's meant to be shit. I'm sure the controllers are these horrible little analog things. So I would probably say the video pack. I can't even remember who made it again. The video pack, it comes in this enormous box. Like I said, I've got two of them. Don't know why. Have you checked your next for scratches? Evening, Venga boy. Nice to see you, buddy. I'm absolutely excellent. Thank you very much. Scratches. Where would it normally get scratched about? It looks alright to me. One thing I do notice with it, especially the shiny plastic bit, it's an absolute haven for sticky fingerprints. But you know what? That's what they're meant to be. Things are meant to be used. Oh, Philips, that's the one. Yeah, Philips video pack. How nice is that keyboard? Lovely. Yeah. Anyway, right, where were we? I think, Adam, did you ask me a question? I think you did. Let me just scroll back a wee second. Have you ever bought a console and never plugged it in? I bought a 3DO and I've never plugged it in. See that statement, that is absolutely ludicrous. The fact that people would actually do that, and I'm probably guilty of it. I mean, I don't think I've got any console that I've never plugged in. I think the video pack, I think when I got it, I plugged it in just to make sure it came on, and I've never returned it. What's the other one I've also bought? I bought a Sword M5, I think it was called, a Japanese home computer. I always remember seeing it in this computer magazine. It was called the Home Computer Course, and it came out right at the very, very start of when computers kind of became a thing, when you could start buying computers. That's when, it wasn't a question of, do I buy, well, nowadays it's a PC, but back in the day, Spectrum C64, you could buy a Dragon, you could buy a Lynx, you could buy a Sword, you could buy an Atari, you could buy a BBC, you could buy an Oric, you could buy a Jupiter Ace, you could buy a Spectrum, you could buy a C64, you could buy a New Brain, you could buy an Acorn, what was the other line? Acorn Atom, you could buy an Electron, you could buy a Dragon 32, Dragon 64, you could buy a Commodore VIC-20, you could buy a Spectrum 16K, Spectrum 48K, a Commodore C16, why you'd want that is anyone's guess, a Plus 4. There were billions, well that's a slight exaggeration, there was lots and lots and lots, there was tens of computers you could buy, and yeah, for some strange reason this Sword one just kind of stuck out. Before I actually had a computer, my mum and dad bought me this magazine, and I just used to sit and look through it all the time, and I used to sit and stare at it. There was a big double, I think it was the centre pages, there was a big double 2 pages in the centre, and it had all these computers, and beside each one it had like the good points and the bad points, it had the prices and that kind of stuff. And I always wanted a C64, but I think that was like £400. Then there was also the Sword, And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I decided that I would love to get this sword, but I don't think. Well, it obviously was. Pardon me. It obviously was available in the UK, but my mum and dad plumped for the Texas, which, you know, I was wanting the C64, but I knew I was never ever going to get one, so I ended up with Texas. I had the one game which was it was called Core, and it was a type. Well, it wasn't a typing game. It was written in BASIC, and it was you had to control. I think it was you had to control this bomb, which was the letter V, and you had to navigate through. The sky was littered with birds, i.e., letter W's, and you had to navigate through the sky and eventually get to this thing at the bottom. It was called Core. It was absolute shit. So that was the only game I had. My mate James, he was at Newcastle Polytechnic doing a computer programming course, and he came up to my house one day and he programmed Defender, though he never got to the point of adding any baddies. All he did was he got the wee ship moving up and down. You could move up and down and you could fire, and he absolutely nailed the sort of the, you know, how the sort of the laser that comes out of Defender. Oh wait till you see this. Hang on a wee second, I want to let you see this. In my £7.50 handheld, there is a version of Defender. Now I know Defender should not be played using a gamepad. Wait till you see this bad boy. Now I can't obviously really see it because, right, let's see if we can, right, start. Well, it's called Defender 2. Right, wait a minute. How cool is that? Come on. I mean, that is Defender. Defender in a handheld for £7.50 including delivery. Obviously the fact that I am playing it backwards does not help. Yeah, bloody awesome. Right, wait a wee minute. Have we got any other? Yeah, we do have. Sorry, it was kind of sitting. That's it. The annoying thing with the annoying thing with, what do you call it? The chat thing. If you move it up, it just kind of stays where it is. Right, let me have a wee look at the comments. Yeah, I have checked the next for scratches. It looks okay. Yeah, Venga Boy was asking how I am. I'm absolutely good, buddy. Adam's telling me that Phillips made the video pack. Yep, as is Neil. ZX Review is saying shiny bits. Aston, if I have the Philips G7200 with monitor, it wasn't good. Is that an upgrade of the video pack or something? Oh, Mr. Milestar's gone. Good night, buddy. Lucifer, hey, can we play Miss Pac-Man, please? Hey, please stop talking. You're talking to the wrong guy, I'm afraid, buddy. I can talk for the UK. It is called... This is not a gaming... I do live streams. I mean, my video... Evening, Tony. My videos are usually... I play games. I've got tons and tons of different things that I do. The Friday Waffle is historically me effectively just talking pish. I don't normally do live streams of the Waffle, but I've been doing them last. I think this is the third one on the trot. And they're actually quite good fun. So tonight's not going to be my game. Not going to be my gaming, gaming night. It's going to be me just talking nonsense. Excuse me a second. Now I've actually got a 3DO as well. The great thing with all these old consoles is you can just copy games. You know, there was no such thing as piracy back in the day. The fact that a blank CD... I mean, when you think about it, nobody had the capacity or the technology to duplicate a CD, so it didn't need any protection. And I mean, I still remember getting my first CD burner. I think it was 2-speed, and like discs. I'm sure CDs. It was like £10 for 10 discs. It was ridiculous. But I'm saying ridiculous. That's what it was. Yeah, Lucifer wants me to play Miss Pac-Man and talk less. Well, that's not going to happen tonight. Michael, have you been to Arcade Club in Leeds? I'm going tomorrow, excited. I've never been to the one in Leeds, but I was down at the one in Bury a couple of weeks ago, and it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. It really is brilliant. You're going to... I don't know how the Leeds one compares to the one in Bury, but the Bury one is just amazing. It really is. Oops. Hang on. I'm just jumped down. Lucifer, Miss Pac-Man now tits or Miss Pac-Man? Right, okay, whatever. Tony is saying he loves his 3DO. Yeah, it's not one that I play very often. What I do try and do from time to time is I'll decide, right, I'm going to play this console for a couple of weeks, and I'll dig it out and I'll play it, for as much. Which leads on, I was going to play my CD32, and I don't have any original games for it, so it's all kind of copies. And I noticed it stopped working. It just, when you put a disc in, the disc doesn't spin. So I've got no idea. No idea what's going on there. No, Adam, the mag was called... it was called the Home Computer Course. Yeah. Stephen is saying 3DO Road Rash is worth a play. I always remember seeing a review of, it was FIFA, and also it was Road Rash as well. And it was just looked absolutely astonishing. It was like real graphics. It was all digitised pictures and graphics. It just looked incredible. And I think 3DO FIFA was the first football game to actually have proper commentary. It was way ahead of its time. But again, it just, unfortunately, it just never really... I think it was overpriced as well. Ox is saying there, 1983, the stores were absolutely chocker with choice for 8-bit computers. Yeah, I love that, the fact that everybody had different computers, and that's what made it exciting. Now you've got a PC. I mean, you've got different consoles, but it's the same games. Yeah, you get some of the consoles will have, Sony, PlayStation exclusive, whatever. But I defy anybody. I guarantee if you were to put a version of a game on one and say to somebody, what is that? Is that the Xbox or is that the PlayStation? Nobody would be able to tell the difference because they look exactly the same. I love the fact that every home computer had its good points, its bad points. I mean, the Spectrum the playability of the games was awesome, but compared to the C64, the graphics, or not so much the graphics looked shit, the colour, I mean, when I first saw Spectrum, I just thought it looked like a toy compared to my C64, but I'm lucky enough now that I've got both the Spectrum and the C64, and both were brilliant in their own way. Return Fire, now that is one excellent game, Tony. I did play it on the Amiga. Was it called Return Fire? Was it called Firepower? I think it was called Fire something or another on the Amiga. A great game, but I have got that for the 3DO, and it's wonderful. I love the fact that when you're in the Wii, is it the little truck? You get Ride of the Valkyries tune blasting out. Vinny the Macker, my uncle had a T1994A. Most of the games were not exactly great, but Parsec was pretty decent. Yeah, unfortunately, I never had any games other than the one that my mate wrote for me. And, Core. But the less said about Core, the better. Because it was just bloody awful. Parsec was good. Fun fact, the T1994A had the same graphics chip as the ColecoVision. Was that right? Actually, now that you mention that, yeah, some of the games that I've played what I've seen on the emulator do look very, very similar. Yep. Now, Steve, I do apologise. You did ask me a long time ago for a stream or for a Blimey They Did What featuring Acorn Soft games. Well, you know what? I think because here's the thing. I don't really know. I'm not familiar with many of the games at all. But I think it would be a perfect live stream. So here's the deal. Here is the deal. The next live stream that I do, it will be an Acorn Soft special. How's that? Can't get much fairer than that, buddy, eh? Does that sound good? Ox is saying, I remember when CD Burners came out. £6 for a blank. Evening, Adam. How you doing, Squire? Yeah, they were just ridiculously expensive. Steven saying, sounds like a capacitor issue with the CD32. Yeah, I don't know. I'm completely clueless. I would really need somebody to fix it for me. I know that the lasers are a thing that kind of tends to fail in a lot of consoles, you know, and yeah, it sounds like that's what's kind of going on with my CD32. But I am supposed to be getting taught how to solder. My mate Neil's going to come up and show me. So yeah, maybe once I can solder, I might attempt to fix it. Yeah. Anyway, right. Sorry, Neil. You were asking where did you get that 7? I got it from eBay, and the games that I remember. In fact, let me switch it on. I'll turn down the sound. Right, the games that you've got. I mean, it says 401. It's quite clearly not 401. You've got Super Mario, you've got Dr. Mario, you've got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you've got Contra, you've got Cage, you've got Jackal, you've got not Rush, what's it called? Green Beret, you've got Adventure Island, you've got oops a daisy, you've got Bubble Bobble, you've got Snow Brothers. There's other ones I've never even heard of. You've got Ninja Gaiden, you've got Double Dragon, you've got Robocod, you've got a 10-yard fight, which is a really nice game. You've got a hilarious version of Mortal Kombat 4, which I think is not original. Aladdin 3, baseball. There's a Bomberman on it. There's Burger Time, which is really good. Circus Charlie, Defender, Dig Dug's on it, Donkey Kong, Excite-A-Bike, Formation Z, Galaga, Galaxian, Golf, Hyper Sports. The only thing is you can't, for some strange reason, it doesn't work. It works, but you can't actually move at all. It's got Joust, it's got Karateka, it's got Load Runner, Macross, it's got Mappy, it's got Millipede, Nibbles, don't know, Road Fighter, whoops, it's got Pooyan, Popeye, it's even got Star Force, remember Star Force? It's got Year Kung Fu, it's got 1942, it's got Arkanoid, it's got Bomb Jack, it's a weird Bomb Jack. Then you start Flappy. You start getting some games that have clearly been just made up. But Pac-Land, let's try Pac-Land. There you go. I mean, look at that. There's Pac-Land. Can you see that? Come on. I mean, is that not moving? Ah, there we go. Right, you need to use the keys. Right, trying to play it back to front does not really work. So you know what? I reckon there's probably about 50 games. And like I said, the screen in this is beautiful. It's got nice loud sound. It's rechargeable. You can also plug it into the telly. You know, what's not to like, and it's for, you know, £7.50 delivered. Just absolutely mental. Anyway, right, let's batter on. We might not, I mean, that's an hour. We're kind of running over a wee bit. Let me just jump back and we'll go through another couple of questions. So, anyway, yeah, that was Scott's question about the worst and best, or the worst console that I used to own and the worst console that I do own. I don't think there's that many questions. Nah, I can't find any other questions. It looks like there's only the one question. I don't think there was any other. I don't think have I done any other waffles since the 24th. Oh no, there might be. Wait a wee minute. There might be one more. Right, hang on. Where are we? Right. Ah, you know what it was? No, because the waffle I did after that was the one that was like literally 2 minutes. So no, I think we've only got that one question. Anyway, right. Listen, I think I'm going to. How you doing, Mark? You all right, man? Hi Tony, how's it going, buddy? Right, Tony, fire away if you've got. Oh wait a minute, where? Sorry, Colin. Whereabout was Digitizer Live? What was the? What was the? Was it last week's? Was it last week's Friday Waffle? You put it in. Let me have a wee look. Right, videos. Right, so. Right, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. I can't find it. Right, okay. Right, to answer Tony's question. First game ever played on the Amiga or Commodore 64. Woo! The first game that I ever... I'll tell you exactly what it was. I could even go and show you, but it doesn't matter. It was 2 games that I bought that I got with my C64. It was what do you call it? It was Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software, and it was one of the worst video games you're ever going to play. It looked like it was written in BASIC. It's just a bloody awful. It's absolutely horrendous. It was a terrible game. Completely unplayable. The graphics are pish. 30. I was looking at the. Sorry, I'm just reading Milfy's. I could only find the one question in that. I'll jump back in. Yeah, Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software. It's a god awful Donkey Kong game. Really bad. I cannot emphasise how bad it is. It's just terrible. The second game that I got was Frogger, which is actually quite good. That was actually quite a good game. Right, let me just jump back in again. So, let me go into YouTube Studio and go into my playlists. You know, it's pretty bad when you can't even find a video on your own channel. Yeah, so to answer that, Tony, Crazy Kong by Interceptor Software, that was the very first game I played in the C64, and it was shit with a capital S. Awful, absolutely awful game. Right, wait a minute, I'm just struggling. Right, here we go, I'm back into... Where's the 31st? The 31st of January. Right, so it was a live Friday Waffle. Now let me see if I can find it right. Hang on. Right, okay, here we go. Right, I've now found the 31st of January's Waffle. I think there might be a couple of questions. Right, Colin, sorry mate, you were asking. I'll keep this brief this week. Digitizer 2020 has been announced for the 25th of July at Harrow Arts Centre. Tickets soon. Do you plan on attending? I'll ask that to fellow commentators too. It'd be great to meet some of you. Nah. I mean, I'm certainly not going to go down. If it was local, I would probably go along. I mean, who's taking part in it? I have watched some of the Digitizer YouTube videos. The thing that get me, and it's not jealousy, trust me on that, it's nothing to do with jealousy, is all these bigger YouTubers, they all stick to the same big YouTubers. It's like a closed circle. It is impossible to ever break into these bigger YouTube channels. It's the same people: Nostalgia Nerd, Larry Bundy, Kim Justice, Octavius Kitten, Stuart Ashens. It's all the same, and don't get me wrong, these are, some of these guys have got really good channels, but I just wish they would sometimes involve other smaller channels. There's plenty of wee channels that I've got a lot to talk about, so that always kind of puts me off. And like I was saying, somebody mentioned to me about, are you going to, there's a YouTuber's arcade club thing organised. I don't really get involved. I don't get involved with other YouTubers other than, like I say, Down the Rabbit Hole, Lactobacillus Prime, Lawn Boys Post, there's a few others. I don't really get involved with other YouTubers at all. Maybe it's just an age thing. I don't know. So it's unlikely that I'll be going there, Colin. Mr. Ian Hunter, hi Alan, a question for the next waffle. As you know, I'm an old fart who's been retired from work now for 13 years. This may sound awesome, but I still cannot do and watch everything I want to in a day. If you had the choice of doing any job of work for a reasonably decent salary, computer and video games industry included, what would it be? Oh, that is a tough one. What would I want to do? I wouldn't want to be an actor. I wouldn't want to do that. I don't know. I think my ideal job would either be being a spaceman. I mean, I think to be on the brink of something so cutting edge that nobody's ever done would be an amazing thing. But I think like a job a bit like David Attenborough, I think of the knowledge that he's got. He's toured the world. I mean, if I won the lottery, which I'm never going to do because I don't do the lottery, I would love just to tour the world and visit places. I've got a fascination for Japan. I'd love to go to Canada. Love to go to, I'd love to go on safari. I would love to go to some third world countries and help out. And, I know it all sounds a bit like yada 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 yada, but yeah, I don't know. I think I would love a job where I could actually help people. Yeah, but a dream job, I'd love to go to the moon, go to space. Some people would say I'm probably already there, some of the shit that I talk. So anyway, Ian, thank you very much. Stephen Thomber, well done, taking the waffle to a new level, bravo. Question for the next one. Where can I buy a Vectrex for a reasonable price? Haha, only joking. Yeah, Vectrex is like a lot of hardware now. It's getting harder and harder to source, and there's a lot of greedy buggers out there, which really annoys me. My real question is, which was the very first colour arcade game you saw and played? I mean proper colour, not coloured gel strips across the screen. I think it would have to be Galaxian. Yeah, I think it would have to be that. I mean, Galaxian, even now, I think it's a standout game. The glowy Starfield, the sound, the awesome sound. Have I ever let you see my... I think I have. I have let you see this. I can find it. Where is it? Where have I put it? Where have I put it? My little mini Galaxian machine. Why can't I find it? No. Don't go anywhere, guys. I will be back in a jiffy. Where have I put it? Ah, there it's there. It's right in front of me. Yeah, there's my little Galaxian machine, which is awesome. How cool is that? And the fact that you can even play it is even better. Whoops. Yeah, it just, I mean, it's... The graphics were just beautiful looking. Anyway, enough of that. Yeah, I think Galaxian would be my first colour arcade game that I ever saw. Hang on, I'm just going to jump back into the... Oh, sorry, I'm just looking here. Stunt Thump, fancy doing an exclusive first play of my new Specky game? Absolutely. I love playing any new game. So please, Stunt Thump, if you want to send it across to me, buddy, that would be wonderful. And I'll do a little. I don't really do reviews as such, but I'll just tell you, you know, what I think of it. So please send it across. Get in touch and let me know how I can get a copy of that. That'd be wonderful. Right, let's get back to the Friday Waffle questions. That was Stephen Thomber. A lot of channels use various bits of free software to make content. My favourite was any video converter, which apart from editing videos when I did them for YouTube, can do just about anything I could need to audio. So I could need to audio a video file. So what is your favourite piece of free software? My favourite bit of free software, I was going to say Paint, which is built into Windows, but that's technically not free. There's a bit of software now, because I'm a retro gamer, like a lot of people. I have got so many thousands and thousands and thousands of ROMs, and you've got to try and rename them. One of my pet hates is when you get a list of games, maybe like 1,000 games, and they've got numbers in front of them. So all it does is it puts them in number order rather than alphabetical order. And what you need to do is basically name each one. But there's a piece of software, I can't remember for the life of me what it's called. Is it Bulk Renamer? And it basically allows you to go into a directory and just highlight 50,000 files, and you can remove like the first 5 letters or 5 numbers, or you can remove spaces. It's a really, really, really useful bit of software. I wish I had it years ago, because I mean, the amount of time that I've spent renaming files, and I mean, I'm one of these, I think I've got OCD when it comes to like files and an emulator. I hate if a file is called like M minor. I've got to call it Manic Minor, so I'll sit and type all this in. So yeah, I think it was Bulk Renamer or something it's called. It's a cracking bit of software. That's probably my favourite little bit of free software. Down the rabbit hole. Hi Kev. Hi Alan. It would be interesting to hear the perspective of a new young gamer playing the classics. So any chance Ava would review some of your old games from yesteryear? I don't think that is ever going to be possible, Kev. I mean, she's still a video player, but she's not. I don't think there's a cat in hell's chance I would ever get her to go in front of camera. I think the one and only time I ever got her in front of a camera was when I did the Bean Boozle challenge thing many moons ago. But all I can say is, I mean, she used to play a lot of the SNES games and that kind of stuff, and she loved them. She really did. Secondly, what was your biggest disappointment in gaming? Biggest disappointment in gaming, apart from some games which were shit. 2 disappointments. Year Kung Fu 2. I loved the original on the C64 and I was really excited. 3 actually. I was really excited when Year Kung Fu 2 came out by Ocean, and I just thought it was rubbish. Didn't enjoy it at all. It completely changed the graphics, and I was wanting more of the same. The second disappointment would be, it's another beat 'em up. It was a sequel to Way of the Exploding Fist. I mean, Way of the Exploding Fist is just a awesome game. And I was really excited when they announced a sequel. And I just thought, I mean, it took on, it was like a scrolling adventure type thing, and there was less moves in that. And I just thought it was disappointing. It was a crushingly disappointing game. Though it did redeem itself somewhat, because on the flip side 2 of the tape, you had a 1-in-1 beat 'em up, and rather than having like the yin yang, like basically 2 kicks and you're dead, it was like a power meter thing. So that was quite good. But yeah, the sequel to Year Kung Fu 2 and the sequel to Way of the Exploding Fist, I was really disappointed. Hardware wise, I would probably say the sound on the Atari ST. Going from a C64 and supposedly upgrading to a 16-bit computer, the graphics were awesome, but the sound, the music was just crap compared to the SID chip. It was disappointing. It really was. Pardon me. Yeah, so that would probably be my biggest disappointments in gaming. Thirdly, what's your favourite kart racing game? And if it's Mario Kart, which particular version? Dead easy, Mario Kart on the SNES. I do like Mario Kart 8 on the Switch and the Wii U, but I've got to say the SNES one it's the original, and it just plays. It's the most perfect version. And finally, I really enjoyed your Defender video. You're way better than me in that one. You having a laugh? You having a laugh? Other than the arcade original, what is your favourite port of Defender? As there have been several, each with benefits and also disadvantages. I'm actually going to be doing an Arcade Perfect My Arse on Defender. Because I couldn't really play Defender, I always avoided it. It was a game I always wanted to play, but I simply never played it because it was too difficult. I've always avoided doing an Arcade Perfect, but I'm going to do one. So yeah, you'll just need to wait and see, Kevin. The best port of Defender, I suppose, that you would, that's not true Defender would be Drop Zone. Drop Zone's an amazing game. It really is. So yeah, but stand back or watch out for my Arcade Perfect My Arse on Defender. I'm going to get that done. So thank you very much for the questions. And Milthy Swinbuckle, hello there again. Here's another tongue-in-cheek question for the next waffle to mull over. I watched your video this week on Defender and totally agree with you that the game is absolutely beautiful. The graphics, movement and sound are perfect in a lot of these old games. This got me thinking about games that push the limits of older hardware and astounded us back in the day. My question is this: could they and should they now be considered works of art? Perhaps even have a place in the Louvre, the Louvre, I should say, alongside the Mona Lisa. Art galleries are all well and good, but stick something like a Robotron or Space Invader in with them. That should liven the place up a bit, if nothing else. After all, these were the masterworks of the 70s and 80s. I mean, I don't know if you could really regard like a Space Invader machine as a work of art, but it should be preserved the same as music's preserved, the same as films are preserved. I mean, that's the whole point in MAME, and that's the thing that always blew my mind. The whole multiple arcade machine emulator project was never actually written to be able to play games. It was written to preserve code. And I mean, I've said this before, I think MAME as a project is just a phenomenal thing. I mean, the fact that they've got so many games that are, there's some of these games are there's probably not any in existence. I don't know why or where they actually acquire the ROMs from, but the MAME's a wonderful project because they've basically allowed people to still look at these machines in years to come. I mean, MAME is, without a shadow of doubt, my favourite bit of software. Let's have a look. There's some question there. William White. No, I don't think there's any questions there. Batman, top live waffleage surf. The next waffle, now you have the Zap and Crash annuals. What are your thoughts on them? Do you think they should be an annual event, no pun intended, as there was no Crash 2020? Are there any other classic game mags that you'd like to see get the annual treatment? I've, like a lot of things, I'm going to go back to the live stream. Like a lot of things, but I tend not to, I buy things and then I don't actually use them. And I mean, I've got my annuals up there. I have started reading the Zap 2019 one. Really enjoying it. I've not got that far into it, but I think they've really nailed the essence and the spirit of these magazines. It is it's like the magazine back in the day. Is there any magazine that I would like to see get the annual treatment? I suppose maybe a computer and video games one would be quite nice, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of went off magazines in the 90s. I bought, what did I buy? You had Ace magazine, you had Games Machine, you had your PC formats, your Amiga formats, your ST formats. There was loads and loads of different magazines, and the more recent the magazine, the more bored I got. I just simply never really got into magazines. I would buy them primarily for the CD or the tape stuck to the front, but I just kind of lost interest in magazines. Really, after Zap disappeared, I kind of stopped. I would buy them, but I never really got into them at all. So yeah, listen guys, I think that's an hour and a half. It's 20 to 11, so I think I'm going to call it a night. Thank you very, very much to everybody. Sorry Mark, I'm just reading Mark's just jumped in there. How you doing, buddy? Hi Alan in chat. Alan, will you be doing any panel or interviewing at events this year? I'm not sure, Mark. I mean, I know Retro and Lim has apparently been told that they are free to do the panel interviews at the coming play events. I'll be honest, 100% honest. As much as I enjoyed doing them, I was a wee bit disappointed the fact that the owner of the play events, who, let's be honest, made money out of the whole event, including the talks that people were doing, he never contacted anybody and said thank you. And we did that off our own. I mean, I had to pay to get down there. Yeah, I did get a free ticket to get in. I had to pay for my own accommodation. I had to pay to get down there. The guy who owns the event didn't even thank you. He didn't. I think he thanked Retro and Lim, who in turn, I mean, Stephen, who's a great guy. He runs Retro and Lim. He did say, thank you very much. But it would have been nice if the guy had actually himself came and said, look, thanks for that, guys. But I don't know. I've not been asked. I would have to think about it. I think if I did get asked, I would probably be looking to get my expenses paid at the very least, because I was paying to go down there and effectively I was working. It was great. I mean, being able to talk to Andrew Morris, Sean Southern, some of my heroes, You know what I mean? That was awesome. But I had to pay to get down there. Like I says, I got in for free. But you know, we're effectively working, so I think it's only right. At the very least, if the guy had come back to us and says, "Look, guys, you blew it out of the water. You know, really good. People enjoyed it. Can you do it next year?" But we never got so much as a thank you or anything from the guy directly, and all it would take is a simple email. So I don't know. We'll see, Mark. We'll do. I would love to do them again, but you've got to be asked. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, yeah, I've already said goodbye, and I see a few people have been saying goodbyes as well. So I'm going to get going, guys. Yeah, thank you very, very much to everybody that's joined in tonight. I always enjoy these. They're always really, really good fun. Although it's just me talking to camera, it's I do feel that there's feedback going back and forwards. Thank you for your constant support. I really do. You guys rock big style. So anyway, have an excellent Friday night for what's left of it. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend, and I says I'll catch you on the next video. Okay guys, take it easy and thanks for watching. Cheers.